Okay, we're going to do something new. We have gone out and we've talked to some of our top resellers tonight, and I know we have many top resellers. We are going to bring them on. I'm going to be able to moderate this and turn on their mics and turn off their mics. And we're going to kind of start with on the top here with Sherry Claiborne. Let me go in here and find her real quick. She's actually on a mobile device, so I'm going to have to turn her on at a different place here. Sherry, there she is right there. And Sherry's from California. Sherry, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Kerry.
Great. Sherry, it's great to have you with us. Just tell us real quick where you're from, Sherry, and a little bit about your company.
Well, excuse me. I'm actually here in Southern California. I'm near the Palm Springs area. I'm in a city called Indio, California. And I saw this opportunity back in July, I think right just as you launched the reseller program. And this could not have been more of a perfect fit for me and my family, because I have been looking for an opportunity to create a family business. And I've got 3 grown children and my husband, and my husband doesn't do a whole lot of anything with me right now as far as business goes, but he's very supportive. He does a whole lot of other things with me, but not business-wise. He's still punching a clock, working for another company. But my 2 girls and my son, they're all on board with the app business, and being as they're the next generation, this is just nothing to them. They picked up on this right away, and it's a good fit for me because of my background as a photographer and as a graphic artist. And I've been in sales before, so I couldn't wait to get started doing this business. So that's name of my company, like Kerry said earlier, is actually Castle Mobile Marketing. And I think my oldest daughter is the one that came up with the name Castle, and it sounded strong. Most people think of a castle, they think of a fortress. They think of wealth and rich people living inside there. So we decided we'd go with that, and it kind of rolls off the tongue, Castle Mobile Marketing, and that's how we got started.
Now, let me ask you, I know your kids are involved now. Are they building the apps and you're selling the apps? Tell us a little bit about your structure.
Well, I'm the field person. I'm mom. I'm the people person. I'm the one out there. I think my youngest daughter is probably more social than my other 2 kids. My other 2 kids still hold down full-time jobs, working in other businesses, but they're looking at this as their ticket out of the the employee world and into the family business world. But I'm out there showing apps and talking to people just about everywhere I go, and kind of teaching them because they're with me quite a bit, and I'm kind of showing them that this is kind of how this is done. You start a conversation and you turn the conversation towards, listen, I got something you need to look at if you're talking to a business owner, and sometimes even if you're just talking to an employee. But my girls are the ones who are pretty graphically capable. My son's more of a salesperson type, kind of like me, but he's good on the phone. He's good on the phone. He's good at follow-up calls. He's good at communicating information. So he knows the platform, and that's where he kind of fits in. Now, my youngest daughter and my oldest, Cassidy is my youngest, and Corinne is my oldest. And Corinne taught me years and years ago how to sell on eBay. So she was way ahead of me when it came to computer, what you can do, how to make money on a computer. And but since then, I've kind of shared with her, and she's learning from me about graphics, and but they're both very quick. Both my youngest daughter she was involved with the yearbook for high school yearbook, so she did layout and design for high school yearbooks. She was a layout editor her last year in high school. So they both have a lot of computer chops and a lot of creativity. My family's very creative. So if we bash heads at all, of course I get I'm the ultimate decider, but if we bash heads at all, it's what color something should be or how it should look, They get a little hurt sometimes when I say, I don't like that. We're going to do a little different. But they yield to me. I'm kind of the matriarch, so they take my advice because I've been in the industry as far as graphics for a long time and advertising. So, but that's how we work it. I'm out there in the field, and they build demos for me. If I throw them 15 minutes notice, one of them can jump on a computer if they're available and pull up somebody else's website, and they'll build a quick demo for me, and I can show somebody something in just a few minutes. But they're that good. They know what they're doing. This platform is so simple.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do they find the platform simple and easy to use and to make it happen quickly so that you can roll right on with your business?
Well, I'm telling you, my oldest one, she's afraid that if we let somebody actually take over and control their own content on an app, that they'll just go become an instant app wizard. They won't resell it, and they won't use us as a service anymore, because she says, Mom, they're going to see how simple it is, and we're going to be done. They're going to lose them as the customer. And I said, you don't understand. Most people don't want to learn anything outside of their realm. They're going to defer to us no matter how easy it looks. But the way I describe it to people, that don't understand what I do, I said, look, I can teach an 8-year-old how to do this because this platform is that simple.
That's
and
awesome.
I figure if you can teach an 8-year-old to do it, then you're set. You're set, because I'll never have a problem finding somebody to help me build an app if I can show them how to do it. So.
That's awesome. Well, Sherry, I'm so glad that you came on tonight, and the biggest reason I wanted you here this evening was I knew you worked with your family. You actually work with a team that you've built and surrounded yourself with. We have so many people that ask, I'm great at sales, but I really need somebody to build apps, or I can really build apps great. I'd like to have sales. And you've actually put together a complete program, and fortunately you're extremely blessed to have your children as a part of that. But you have proven with what you've just said that a team can be put together. It can be extremely successful, even if you are working full-time somewhere and part-time here, or full-time here and part-time somewhere else, that it's readily available to be made to the public. And if you work at it, you can actually go out and make it happen.
Yeah, I believe it's true, Carrie, and thank you so much for asking me to be on the webinar tonight. I raised my hand when I talked to you a couple days ago, but I'm pretty passionate about what I do, and I cannot. The surprises just keep coming. Boy, I tell you, Instant App Wizard is just dynamite. There's nothing else out there that I've seen yet that comes close to the kind of stuff that we get to do and the platform that we have to work with. You guys just keep making it better, which I just pinch myself every now and then going, are you kidding me? Another cool thing? All right. This is awesome. This is awesome. So I feel blessed to be involved with the company, because it's the first opportunity that I've actually had working with an outside company where I get to be me. I still get to be me, and that's the most important thing. And we talked about branding. You talked about branding earlier tonight. And having me be my brand, my own, in control of my own, I hate being cookie cutter. And so many other companies, they just want you to fit in, and I don't usually fit in with anybody. I kind of break them off. But thank you, though, for having me on the call tonight. I really
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sherry. I appreciate you being a part. I really do. We're going to move on now to our next person, which is Bill Joyce. Bill, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I am. You hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Bill. Let us know, tell everybody where you're from, why you got started with the App Wizard, and what you like about us.
Yeah, I'm originally from New York City, actually the Bronx, and went up going to school in South Carolina and never really went back up north, so I lived down here in Atlanta. And I did a stint with IBM for a number of years and started my own business. And what I got into was the restaurant business, and I did that in New York City, down here in Atlanta as well. And when I sold it, I stayed in dealing with restaurants and a number of venues, but as more and more stuff came available for the restaurant industry, for marketing, mobile websites were, starting to become plentiful, but they were more like just a regular website. What do you do with it? And I just happened to cross Kerry doing a webinar on Instant App, and I immediately said, "That's it. This is where it's all going to do, because it ties everything in." And when I first came on board, it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and slowly but surely, almost weekly, something new was added, whether it was the the reputation management or the Foursquare or any of the aspects. They're always doing something, and it's amazing. And I've been very fortunate, and with the reputation management, it's becoming almost a byword, but the fact that we integrate it so beautifully into the mobile application, it's almost like if you just ask somebody about, if you Google yourself, your business, and they come up there and they say, my God, what do you see, reviews? And if they look at their own reviews, they say, my God, it's terrible. What do I do about it? Well, that's why we have this tied into our mobile application, which also does, and then I can go through a litany of whatever it does, but it solidifies the fact that we are cutting edge. In the fact that by 2013, 80% of all searches are going to be done on a mobile device, whatever's available at the end of 2013. But the PC and laptop are pretty well starting to go the way of the dodo bird.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and that and Bill made a very good point. Mobile is here to stay. It's absolutely going nowhere. And Bill mentioned the reputation management program, and I know he and I talked before we came on board here this evening, just a little bit. And Bill, you're really pushing that reputation management system, aren't you?
Yeah, what's happening here is I just did it a second ago while I was, listening and back and forth, and like I was looking at the new applications and stuff we do in table tents, and I just tell people, have you Googled yourself? And before I go call on a customer, if I know I'm going to be in a certain area, I'll Google them. And if I find out, when they pull their name up, they're going to be the first one there. So SEO is not the issue at this point in time. You don't even want to go there. But they come up there, and it's going to say reviews. Well, if you think about it, Google spends a lot of money building their pages and letting those pages be available. And if you Google a company, it's going to be up there, and what you're going to see is 2/3 of a Google page is dedicated to one thing. It's talking about either Google Plus page, Google Places Plus, and what's in there? It's a review. And one of the number one sites in the country today is Angie's List, and all that's about is reviews.
Right.
And people are talking about their reputation. And when I sat down with a guy, I said, I don't care what you're selling. Your most valuable product is your reputation. Because if 3 of you are selling bicycles and 2 other guys have 3 stars and 4 stars and you got 2, you're done. You've got to maintain your management, your reputation, and you can't just manage it. You got to market it. And how do you market it? You get people to do reviews. And that's what the table tents are all about. And once people do reviews, you get more power from Google. The fact that you're a mobile website gives you more power. Once they get that in their head, you got them.
That's right, and we talk about that a lot on trainings. For everybody that's here, if you've not been here before, the great thing about your social media sites, your Yelp, your Facebook, your Foursquare, Urban Spoon, all those review sites, okay, they have great power in driving you up on the front page of Google when it comes to your business. You can go in and Google right now, and you can see a lot of the reputation-type sites that pull up in the top of the search engines. And when someone types your name in Google, if you've got quite a few search results as far as your reputation goes, it really drives that up into the top of Google. So reputation is king, and you really need to take a look and see that. Bill, I want to thank you so much, and it's great to hear you. I haven't had a chance to talk with you in a long time. I know you've just gone crazy with this thing, and you're really foresighted when it comes to the technology and using this. Let me just ask you a question real quick, Bill.
Sure.
How do you sell specifically? Are you a big face-to-face guy, over the phone? What kind of marketing technique do you use to sell the apps?
Well, I've been marketing the restaurants for a long time, all over the country. So a lot of them I do deal with them because I have a prior relationship, and so there's a trust factor there. But honestly, if I'm out and about and I walk in and I look somebody in the eye and I relate to the fact that, hey, I'm a small businessman myself, or so, and I understand what you're going through, particularly with this economy and everything else. Face to face is you're gonna win more than not, as long as you know your own product and know your market, who you're selling to. Before you go in there, if you're talking to a chiropractor, you got to know what their hot buttons are and all that. But basically, if I get face to face, I'm going to win most of the time. But again, if somebody, like I had a call, somebody called me today, so I saw I saw somebody else who was using your product, your mobile website, and I saw your name at the bottom. Once that's done, I'm going to close that guy tomorrow, because basically there's a trust factor built in. It's like almost a mouth-to-mouth referral.
Right.
But again, and then somebody comes up and says, who else is using you? And I have 3 people I've got agreements from to say, hey, listen, do you mind if I use you? I'm not going to beat you to death with it, but how's your reputation going? How is your text marketing going? Are you getting people in? And basically, I just refer them to those folks. Once I do that, it's done. Face to face, like Roger is big on face to face as well. And his technique that he's talked about before with the QR codes, I just started using it, and it's awesome. But basically, I'm finding face-to-face, I got a better close ratio doing that than on the Internet or over the phone. But if logistics aren't there, all you need is 2 or 3 references in the same business. You're going to close it.
That's right. Well, Bill, I greatly appreciate you coming on board today, my friend. I love talking to you. Your enthusiasm always just flies through this computer, and I love what you do. I love the way you do it, and I know that you're going to continue to be successful. It's just an absolute pleasure, and I want to thank you. We're going to move on over here to Rex. And Rex, I hope I pronounced your last name right. Is it Kochwar?
That's right. Yeah, it's Kochwar.
Man, I get 2 points tonight. How about that? well, Rex.
Most people don't get it right.
Well, Rex, if you would, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Share your information. Yes, sir, I'm here. Can you hear me? Rex, did we lose you?
Yeah, somehow it all cut out on me. I'm still here.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Just to share your information with us, where you're from, and what made you get started in the App Wizard, a little bit about your sales techniques and what you're out doing.
Well, we're absolutely doing something unique, I believe. And first of all, I want to thank Woodrow and yourself and Sean for putting this monster together. This is incredible. It has just exploded up here, and I'm going to tell everybody how we did this. So basically, I'm kind of a retired feller, and did my stint in the missionary world, and I came back home and found out the world wasn't the way it was when I left. So decided I had to find something. So I found you folks, and I got interested in the apps. We started building a few, doing the direct approach and charging heavier prices on the front and that sort of thing, kind of individual. And then somewhere we came up with an idea of stacking the apps. Now, when I say that, I mean I created an app directory, realizing that we're in an area in the middle of Nebraska here that absolutely it's impoverished. People are just leaving. Businesses are collapsing, and people have this deer in the headlight look, and so it's quite a shame. But it's all around the country, I know. So anyhow, we went out and started asking some people how they advertise this and that. We weren't trying to approach them too hard, just asking. Then we decided, well, we have restaurants, we have tire shops, and anything, and everybody knows what's around in the local areas. We did a survey in our county. We have like 26,000 people in this county, 780 businesses there, and they all need advertising. So put the concept together. I say I built the trunk, and then I built some branches, and now I'm putting the leaves on the tree, because I literally build the apps ahead of time, like so many can and do. But when I build them, I build a whole tree here. Then, for example, I'll put the main app might have categories like auto and maybe good eats, restaurants or bakeries and so on. But as I do this, I'll hit these categories that are around, sort of like maybe the Yellow Pages might do. And then I create another app, which is a sub-app, which when you hit good eats, you're going to find restaurants, bakeries, et cetera, et cetera. Now, each one of those are going to go to another app that's going to list all the restaurants in the area, for example, like in the 3-city area here. When you do that, suddenly now you attach the individual apps to that. So it's quite a channel they go down through. But by taking this concept, we now take it to the people. So, and I call that launch. And as we take it to the people, they look at this, and then they realize they're in this huge tree. And then they see their competition sitting right there, and they can't help but take it. And we charge them not so heavy on the front, and we charge them a monthly. We have recurring billing per month. We make it affordable. And now, by doing this, then they want to know, well, what are we doing? Well, we're in every rest stop. We have cards that'll have the QR codes on them, and of course the URL to our directory app. Then every motel, we have cards that will lay in every room, and they can scan that, or if they have a laptop, they can go right to that. But they can discover this area, and this is what's fascinating to the people, because if you're in a motel and you need your tire fixed, I guarantee you can find it in our directory app. And it's a little bit of work to get it started, but I'll tell you what, it's a bonfire when it gets going.
That is absolutely phenomenal. You know, I was talking to Sherry yesterday, and I know she's working on a directory style app. Guys, you everybody on the call just heard what Rex was saying. He's literally gone out and built a bonfire. And he's also directing people to the app, and I literally preach this, and you all know I'm a preacher, but I literally stand up sometimes in my studio here and get behind the pulpit. The QR code is king to driving people to these apps. And this guy is putting them in restaurants. He's putting them in all the rooms. He's putting them in the rest areas. He's putting them everywhere. Why? Because that's what drives you to that mobile app. And he's driving them to a directory, which now he's sold them a spot in the directory. He's sold them a mobile app. He's just literally exploded this whole process. And Rex, man, that is absolutely awesome. I mean, that is really, really powerful. That's really powerful.
Well, thank you. We also know, and everybody should keep in mind, I call it the Jones syndrome, to keep up with the Joneses, because when you show, say, a restaurateur an app, now his app is right there. Now, I said we can remove that if you'd like. But when he sees all his competition sitting right beside him, he says, no, I think I'm sticking. They do. And we had one young lady, she had a catering business in the country, just outside of one of the cities around here, about 14,000 people. She was about 3 miles out in the country. Nobody knew she was there. We built an app for her. She pasted the QR code on her Facebook. It took about 2 days, but she got 23 people, just bam. Just like that. And she's giving away a holiday turkey.
Wow.
So, and it's just, this is phenomenal. We love it. And some are taking the text. Not all. And some of them, and the reason they're not, we tell them you should, and we'll help you in any way we can. And we have ways of doing that. But still, the QR code and just getting the word out it's going organic. And so everybody ought to think about that in their area. And this is an area here you would think. Now, I could, down the road, we have another city about 50 miles away now. That is a metropolis. I mean, those people are prosperous in business and so on. So our beta test area here, I couldn't pick a worse place, but it just went wild. Now you go down to this other area, and that is a city of about 30,000. And now there is a different ballgame. Our pricing structure is going to be different, but the concept will remain the same. And so that's it. Now they can push their app their way, and we're pushing them from the top, if you will, and they're pushing from the bottom.
Very good.
And somewhere in the middle, they're going to make money.
What a great marketing strategy. Super. You know what I love about this company, and what I love about the resellers in this company that have come on board is the unbelievable outside-the-box thinking and marketing strategies that come across that I'm very blessed to see every day because I speak to a lot of you folks. But you can see and we're going to close here in just a moment with Roger. You heard Bill Joyce talk about Roger just a few minutes ago. But you're able to see tonight, everybody on this call, the power of thinking outside the box, using all the tools in the toolbox, breaking them out, breaking them down, and going out and showing this product and exploding it with just, and Rex, that's way out of the box, buddy. I'd have never dreamed. And but that is absolutely powerful. So,
well, the one thing I'll close in saying this: if it wasn't for Woodrow and you fellas in the group there, the simplicity of your software is really where it's at. We can run full throttle. I make, myself and I've got some others. We make 5, 6, 7, 8 apps a day, and then you can just the rest of the story. But with the software, because of the simplicity of it, that's where I think is a real key. And of course, a good strong server, which I know you have, is going to be able to support the traffic that I plan on bringing, and I'm sure everybody listening, if they just think about this and get in there and bring your other friends. Don't ever worry about hook other people up in the business, because you're still the king.
That's right. Well, Rex, I want to thank you, man. It's a pleasure speaking with you this evening, having you on the call, and just keep doing what you're doing. Keep us in tune and keep us in touch, and because I really look forward to watching you explode out there. I greatly appreciate you, buddy.
All right. I appreciate you guys.
Our next and final guest is my good buddy, and I know has become a friend to many. He's spoke to many of you out there, and that's Roger Panada. We had the privilege of having Roger on board last week and sharing with us. How you doing, Roger?
Hey, doing very good. I love hearing the ideas of the other agents that we have for our business, and we got some great people on the call tonight, and I'm really inspired by hearing the other ideas, and I'll share one with you guys tonight too. But I'm really glad we got some great people on the team, because it really helps me and motivates me to go out and do a little more too.
Tell us about your week, Roger. We like to hear the weekly Roger report. Tell us about your week and how things are going for you.
Well, so far this week I've wrote up 2 deals, and but I want to talk to the group tonight and kind of let them, don't get depressed when somebody tells you no. I met a owner of a business on Saturday. He was too busy to talk, but he said he was interested, so he said come Monday. So I did a demo app for him, and I went to see him yesterday, and he blew me off. He was kind of too busy. And so anyway, on Monday, he blew me up on Monday. So he said, come Wednesday. So Wednesday I came, and he kind of blew me off this morning. And, and I kind of felt gee, I spent this time, and, got kind of down a little bit. But I said to him, hey, next. And what I did, I went and I walked into about 30 businesses today. I got some good leads, wasn't able to close anything. And then as I was driving down the street, I saw this tamale place, and they're the #1 tamale makers in Arizona. And I said, I'm going to go in there. And I said, no, I'm not. Then I turned around and I went in. As soon as I walked in, I showed her my QR code. She says, my God, I've been looking to get one of these for 2 days, and I didn't know who to call, and I wrote her up. Is that amazing? It was just out of the blue. So you just got to go out there, and you're going to find the ones. So I wrote her up, and she's real excited. I went down about 3 more blocks. I saw a furniture store. I walked in there, and I wrote them up. So don't get discouraged if you have a lot of people tell you no in the beginning. Just keep at it, because you're going to find the ones that say yes, and The ones out there that want the program are going to buy. So it was a pretty good day today. And it does work. And I'm telling the folks out there that most of us have gotten in this business to make money, and you're helping people. And I'll tell you, the numbers are really starting to crank up for me. But you're absolutely right. It's just it's that follow-up that you have to do, and it does work. I got an idea that I'm going to work on right now, and the idea is bars. You get a lot of business people after work go to a bar and have a drink or so. So I'm going to make up coasters with my QR code on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the local sports bars, and I'm going to give the owner a free mobile app. And I'm going to put coasters on every one of his tables and give him extra ones to pass out. And I will tell him, I will give you the mobile app, and for every business or everybody that signs up off in my business, off the coaster and downloads my app and I sell the program, I will give them a free month. And I'm working on that program now, and I'll report on how that does. But that's one way to get a lot of business people that you can't get to during the day, because guess what? They get off work, they're too busy to talk to anybody, but they'll go have a beer and they'll see that coaster with the QR code. What do you think they're going to do? I'll tell you a quick story. Me and my wife, May, went to McDonald's. There was this white truck in the breakfast. We went through the drive-thru, and it had 3 QR codes, one on each door and one on the rear. May says, "What does he do? There's no signs on the door." So she takes out, and from the windshield, she scans the QR code. It was a landscaping company. So what I'm going to do with these bars, I'm going to go and have some really nice coasters. I'll pay a little money out of my own pocket. And I'm going to have a QR code that says nothing, okay? And let people look at that QR code. Guess what they're going to do? What's this? And as they're drinking their beer and they're putting it down and looking at that thing, you don't think these people are going to scan my QR code? I'm going to have a free range because I'm going to give the owner a mobile app, and for everyone that signs up out of this business, I'm going to give them a free month.
That's awesome. Very smart idea. Well, you know, the old saying, curiosity killed the cat. And I do the same thing, Raj. I scan every code I come across. And
the only problem is I wear a T-shirt with a QR code here with nothing on it, and May keeps going and scanning me.
Well, let's hope it says that I love you, May, every time she sees it.
Oh, it does.
Well, Roger,
anyway, I really enjoy our company. You guys are the best. I love the stuff you gave us tonight.
Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you for coming on board once again. And you tell May we wish you guys the best. I know you guys work great. Another team, everybody on the call here, Roger and his wife is a great team. They're making it happen. She builds the apps, and Roger makes the sales. And they're absolutely exploding. Roger, thank you so much for coming on board again this evening.
You're welcome.